Hey y'all, it's your girl Pretty Polished. Welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, thank you for stopping by. I'm hoping that your stop will turn into a stay and that you'll be here for longer than a day. Halloween is approaching, and I wanted to cover murders that happen on or around it. Today, we will be discussing the tragic unaliving of 6-year-old Karen Mauk. Karen was born on October the 25th, 1948, just a few days shy of Halloween. She was born into a big family of 8, Karen's mother, father, and her 6 siblings. She had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Karen's father, William Mauk, manufactured steel. He melted down scrap metal and iron and turned them into other objects. Karen's mother, Marguerite Mauk, was a homemaker. She took pride in raising her 7 children at home and being a wife to her husband. In 1954, Halloween fell on a Sunday. The people in the neighborhood got together and decided that letting the children celebrate on that Friday versus Sunday was a better idea. Margaret was against the idea of them going on Friday because she had to be at the school for a meeting and therefore would be unable to help supervise the young trick-or-treaters. Karen begged her mother to allow her to go, and her mother gave in. After all, William would be at home with the other children. Little Karen dressed up as a cutie pie doll with the mask, hat, and pen. Although she had multiple siblings, she did not go trick-or-treating with them. Instead, she went with her cousin. After a while of trick-or-treating, her cousin was called back home. However, Karen wasn't ready for the fun to end just yet. Briefly, she returned home to check in with her father. William checked to see 4 friends waiting on Karen to come back outside, but he states that he could not identify them because they were all clad in costumes. William allowed Karen to leave again. However, by the time Karen's mother, Marguerite, got home from being at school, William was worried and deeply concerned about Karen's whereabouts as she had not returned back home. After about an hour and a half of them looking for her together, they made the decision to call the police. Earlier in the day, a 14-year-old girl had been attacked. She managed to scream and escape the clutches of her attacker. This put an eerie feeling in the air. Around midnight, a police officer rode through a cemetery. This particular cemetery had high grass in the back of it. Unfortunately, this is where the body of Karen Mauk was found, unclothed, with a bloody face, and with her candy bag beside her. Almost immediately, the police had a suspect that they were actively looking for, 39-year-old Harry Gossard. He became a suspect because Karen's hat and pen from her costume were found near his garage, allegedly. Harry was captured on his way back from Philadelphia, where he confessed to his crimes. He approached Karen in an alley and convinced her to get into his vehicle. Once she was abducted, he drove her straight to a cemetery. Some people refer to the area adjacent to the cemetery as a lover's lane. He admits to carrying her body back to the car, but that's when he notices that she does not have a pulse. He claims to have left her lifeless body in the grass. He then went home to watch TV before going to bed for that night. Imagine someone sleeping like a baby after killing a 6-year-old. Karen's autopsy came back and her cause of death was ruled as strangulation. The medical examiner believed that she had been smothered with something like a jacket. On January the 3rd, 1955, Harry Gossard was officially charged with murder and he pled guilty. Just 3 months later in April, he was given the death penalty. The headline in the newspaper that day read, "Trick or Treat Slayer Sentenced to Death." On June 4th, 1956, Harry paid for his decisions with his life. Justice for Karen was served when he was placed in the electric chair. He did not give a true final statement, nor did he take that time to apologize to Karen or her family for what he had done to her. He only mumbled, "Amen," at the end of a prayer that was said by the priest. Just 3 minutes after electricity began flowing through his body, Harry was pronounced dead shortly after 9 p.m. He decided to donate his body to science. This is all for this case. I'm so glad justice was served for her and her family got to bury her with closure and love. Y'all, not too much on her parents for allowing her to go. This was back in the 50s and things were done differently back then. Karen's mother did blame herself for her daughter's death. Please be safe and be cautious during this holiday season.